What's up? I see a subscriber.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please. I'm trying to get paid.
Hey y'all, I'm Nay,
I'm India.
and we're here today to let y'all know that you got some new friends on this new platform of ours.
And we're about to get into it.
I'm so happy. Like, honestly, we're not here to get you guys to buy into us. We just want y'all to like us naturally. Like, we're not looking for anybody to force our personalities on anybody. We just discovered that we love who we are and we wanted to share us with you.
We just want to bring you the real,
Authentic.
just our personalities, just how we are. Hopefully we find some people that can relate to me or relate to Nay. However you fit in, get in. Really looking forward to sharing all the different things that we do, whether that's business, lifestyle, beauty, our relationship drama, anything.
Anything, because we are normal people.
So first topic of the night, day, whatever, is why we moved to ATL. You want to go first?
Yeah, I moved to ATL from Texas because me and my mom, we wasn't getting along. Like, we used to fight like cats and dogs, and me living with her to begin with was a bad idea, but we both thought it could work. She was helping me with my baby because I was already a single parent when I was pregnant. So, my support system was trying to help me out, and it went good, but you just, when you and somebody else's personality just clashes, it's just time to remove yourself. And that's pretty much what it was. So I came here because this was my only option because I didn't have a house of my own. I wasn't even working. Like, I was poor or something. So I had came. So I moved to Atlanta with my godmom, and then I moved here in, what was that? I moved here in January, and then I moved into my own place in May.
So I moved to ATL right after moving back in with my mom. So I moved back home with my mom after the end of my relationship. It was a lot going on. And then I ended up finding out I was pregnant. But before I found out I was pregnant, I thought that I was going to be moving to LA. Had all these plans for my career just because I wanted to get away from Delaware and flourish in another city, another state. And it just so happened to work out that Nay had just moved to Georgia from Texas. So she was kind of telling me about Georgia, saying, I really think that this would be a good place to move. You should come and see it. Mind you, at this time, like, it's kind of later because that was January by the time you moved to ATL. So I was probably a couple months pregnant.
No, I moved here in December.
Okay, it was December. So I was a couple months pregnant. Yep. I was 12 weeks. I think I was around 12 weeks pregnant. And I decided, okay, this was going to be a good time to just go and visit. So I came down to ATL. I visited. I love the vibe. I love the energy. I, have already been hearing good things just about being able to come to, just about people coming here and starting businesses and really flourishing. So I was like, okay, this will be perfect, for this next chapter of my life. So prayed on it a little bit, kept asking God, is this for me? If this is for me, just say that. And God was like, India, go, go, go. Like, everything was kind of just pointing in the direction of Atlanta. So I ended up finally making the decision. And then that's when I packed up my things and I moved. Actually, I threw away a lot of stuff because I flew down here. So I pretty much started life all over, which was fine with me because, I think that when you're getting ready to transition in the next part of your life, like, you got to get rid of the baggage. And it's not just things, but it's also just energy. And it was like a lot of energy attached to the stuff that I had. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to get rid of everything and I'm just going to move. And then I ended up moving down here for a particular opportunity. That opportunity didn't go through. And so because I was pregnant, I was on bed rest. Basically, my condition was hindering me from being able to take on that opportunity. So I decided to fully go full time within my business as an entrepreneur, brand strategist, and content creator. And I started to help women-owned brands develop their brand. And so women-owned companies develop their brand. And so once I started in that line of work, which I was kind of already doing on the side as when I was a journalist, but once I decided to kind of go full time with that, it really took off, literally, not as fast as I wanted it to, or I guess I didn't really have any particular idea about how fast or slow it would be. But I started getting clients, and I started to really develop my skill set and start to market myself so that people could find me and find the need for me. And then in the midst of that, we were planning out different investment opportunities for, you know, us to kind of come together as friends, as business partners. And we really didn't go all the way in as business partners until just this last month. I think a lot of it was planning. Like, we planned a lot of the different things that we wanted to do and wrote out a lot of different things. And then a couple months later, it started to come to fruition. But that's the reason why.
But the timeline was really fast.
Really fast, yeah. Like, it's
because y'all gotta keep in mind, all of this happened within 1 year.
Not
in
even,
a year, not even finished.
Yeah. Well, it's a year for you, but it'll be, well, a year for you since you moved here. Not a year since we've been in, you know, in business together, but it's been a year since you moved here. It'll be a year for me in March because I moved here in March.
And then in October is when, like, our businesses was like, we started taking clients because from, I'll say, July. She was already kind of locked in with her business. I was still working like a 9-to-5. So she's a bit ahead of me when it comes to, like, you know, this business stuff. But when I got into it, I was doing my due diligence. I had to study. I had to learn before I could claim myself as being a credit repair specialist. But when I was doing my research and everything, I found out about consumer law, and that's what made me really like the fact of being a credit repair specialist, because that's all consumer law is. And after that, it was just like, I just was locked in, she was locked in, and then we didn't drop our businesses really until October. Clients have been coming left and right. I love y'all. Thank y'all for always supporting us. Like,
absolutely.
I personally didn't think that I wouldn't get any clients yet. I didn't think I would get clients my first month of being a credit repair specialist. She already had did some work with somebody else before she branched off into her own. So people already had an idea of who she was and what she does, because she does a lot. But me, I was just a simple girl working a 9-to-5, knew how to do hair, knew how to do makeup.
And I think that we both have an entrepreneur spirit and bone was already embedded in us. So it was kind of easier for us to start to structure our business, take it seriously, be able to create systems for our businesses to flow. Even though I won't say it like the journey has been easy at all. It has been, as far as you can have a certain skill set, but when it comes to running your business and also trying to make sure that you're not working in your business, but you're working for your business, those are a lot of the lessons that we had to learn along the way, because you could really burn yourself out as an entrepreneur. And if you burn yourself out before you get ahead, you won't get far. And so you
gotta know when to take a break. It's okay to take a break.
Exactly. You gotta know when to take a break. So on this channel, you're gonna learn about a lot of the different lessons that we learned on our journey. You're gonna see some of the behind the scenes of our different business activities. But yeah, like the biggest thing that kind of pushed us to move to ATL was to truly invest in ourselves, invest in our dream, stop playing small, and just go for it. And so to anybody out there, this is a sign for you. If you are, you know, still on the fence and hesitant about, should I do it? Should I not? Should I do it? Should I not? You're going to regret not jumping out there and giving yourself a chance more than you will when you jump in and things start to get hard. Because if you keep the end goal in mind, you're going to get to where you're going to get. You're going to get to where you're going to get. Now, top 5 things that you need to know before deciding to move to a new city. What are your top 5?
Just do it. Know where you want to go, know why, and just move. Because ideally, the people that I often talk to when they say they want to move and stuff, their problem is they want to save up at least 6 months worth of rent. I didn't say, I need at least 6 months of rent, to move out of my godmom's house or out of India's house or whoever's house. I just did it without worrying about where the 6 months of rent was going to come from, because you got to just take that step. Because if you don't, you're just holding yourself back from possible blessings that are coming your way because you're too afraid to make that one step.
And I think that was the biggest thing, like, as far as like top 5 things that you need to know before you move to a new city, you need to know that you're going to be able to figure things out.
First of all, having faith, period.
Exactly. That was essentially what I was
Because I still move off of faith. I don't know a lot of shit.
And that's what I was going to get to. Like, you have to know that you're going to figure it out, because there's going to be a lot of people within your journey who are going to try to either discourage you, or it might not be that they're trying to discourage you, but they just have a lot of fear for you, right? And sometimes people project their fears on you. So you have to be
on why they didn't move.
Right.
Or why they didn't make that step.
You have to have tunnel vision for your own dream. So that's the number one thing. Like, you have to know that it's going to work. If you don't believe that it's going to work,
it's not going to work.
Don't do it. Don't even think about it. Don't even
it goes
dream
with,
about it.
Listen, how many times have you questioned yourself, but you was right? That's exactly what it is. Like, as long as you keep questioning yourself and not taking your own word, then of course it's not going to work out for you. But if you know, like, if you went through life and you always felt your intuition strongly taking over you, like, this is it, and you just go along with it, you got to trust your intuition. Like, trust yourself, trust God, trust your good angels, because what you think is like what you think that is a message that's telling you to go, it's a message. You gotta take that step. Otherwise, you're just always gonna hate yourself for not figuring out why. I think a lot of people can literally make it out of whatever situation that they're in, or they can grow if they're already in a good situation. But some people are very stagnant, and some people are just afraid. So if you take away all your worries and all your fears and stuff, and just think about the good is going to come. But if you're constantly always thinking about the bad things that could happen, you're manifesting that. People don't realize that they're actually manifesting the things that go on in their life. It's energy. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's okay to be in fear, right? But your faith have to be stronger than your fear. So that's a whole nother topic, though.
Number 2 thing that you need to know before you make the decision to move to a new city is, what do you want? Like,
you have to be very clear
and very specific, because you can aspire for a lot of things, but if you don't know clearly, if you cannot see it in your mind, if you're not dreaming about it, if you could not, paint a picture for someone else, if they asked you what that thing is, it's going to be harder to reach that goal. It's going to be less attainable, because you can't specifically put your finger on what you want. And when you're able to put your finger on what you want, you're able to write it down. And I think that was the biggest thing that helped me to manifest or bring into fruition, bring to reality what I wanted. Before I moved, I have literally a notebook where I wrote out everything that I wanted for this year, for 2021, right? And on that list of things was to move to a new city, to be in a home that was comfortable enough for me to raise my baby, and to be able to start a business that was going to help other women. There was just like a legitimate, specific list of things that I wanted. And literally within, the last 5 months of living in Atlanta, I've seen so many of those things come to light. But that's only because I was being very specific. Now, I could have been even more specific. Let me tell you that, because just saying, oh, I want to help women own brands, I had to get more specific with what that meant, because everybody's not my client. I learned that. And the other thing is, I put on there certain things about how much money I wanted to make. I've hit those goals, right? Like, I've been able to hit certain goals, but I realize now that I could have went a little harder, jumped a little bigger. So just knowing what you want is super, super important. And what's the number 3 thing that you need to know before you move to a new city?
The third thing you need to know before you move to a new city is know where you want to move them. Yeah. Like we said already.
How the city
just
works.
Know where, what, and why.
Go visit if you can.
You don't have to have a 6-month plan, because things don't always work out as planned. But you can just have a good idea to why you want to move here. Like, to be honest, I didn't want to live here.
I sure too.
And I wanted to stay in Texas.
Because you was going back and forth on that.
I wanted to stay in Texas. But shit wasn't working out for me. And I came here and everything was working out for me. So that's why I decided to stay, because shit was working out in my favor. Have some things went wrong? Yes. Very minor things that I can't even really complain about. Like, I may joke about it and I talk shit and all that. But overall, my experience in Atlanta has been nothing but amazing. I've grown, like, business-wise, mentally, physically. Like, I've grown to a whole grown-ass woman that I wasn't in the state where I'm from, Delaware. And it's not saying that the people there had anything to do with my growth. It was just the toxic vibes that I got from being there. And where I'm from, where we're from, honestly, okay, she's from Africa, but she's from Delaware. So what I'm learning is that it really don't have anything to do with anybody stopping you. Our state is just so small, and not everybody is like me or like her or like somebody else, because they think that they start off wanting what's best for you, right? And then 2 seconds later, it's like they talking shit about you. They trying to down your business, watering down yourself overall, like watering down your character, your business. Like, you can't really take shit serious where you're from, because the people there won't take it serious. So it just end up being all over the place. So I say, when I moved here, people know not to play with me besides the scammers. They know not to play with me, because, like, although people know me as one thing from where I'm from, I've grown into a whole nother person. And people, that's what it is in where we're from. They don't see your growth. They always just remember you. They always just remember you from where you started and not for your growth. And I think that's the big thing right there. So,
and then I would say another thing is know who your support system is. Because we've been able to create our own support system within each other. Like, yes, we have our family and friends that we can call on, but even with that, you have to know who your support system is, because everybody isn't the person to talk to when you're feeling discouraged, right? Everybody isn't the person to talk to when you are trying to plan your next move. Everybody isn't the person to talk to when you're trying to develop a business. You have to know who your support system is. Know who you need to talk to get through a moment. Because you're going to have moments, right? You're going to have moments where you second guess yourself. You're going to have moments where you're like, man, forget this. I'm about to just move back home. You're going to have moments where you just don't know. You just feel lonely. I think that's a big thing, right? Like, when you move to a new place, especially when you don't have family there or anything, you could feel very lonely. So know who your support system is and try to develop one within the place that you're moving to before you move there. And one of my good friends, he gave me a really good tip or idea. He was like, go to the gym or walk around the neighborhood or go out to eat. You're going to find people, and you might find someone who is new to that city too. I remember meeting someone who I met at the pool at my apartment complex where I live. And even though I never really called the girl ever again, but it was nice to be able to have conversation and chat with people, you know, that were from here. And she wasn't from the state either. She was a transplant. She just moved here. But for the most part, you know, definitely knowing who you could talk to about things. And if you know, are moving to a state where you're moving with a friend or something, you know, make sure that you guys just really have each other's back, because at the end of the day, there's no one else that I really can turn to immediately where I'm at except for that, right? And so she's my backbone. I'm her backbone. I'm her support system. She's my support system. And that has really helped us to get to the new level that we're at. So I guess number 5 would just be, you know, trust the journey.
Trust the process.
Trust the process. Trust the process. Don't give up.
I mean, if you give up, look,
that's cool, and I understand.
I don't give up for something very, very one simple reason. And it was this older lady that I had ran into. I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey before I got to here. But me and this older lady came into contact with one another. And, you know, like, I was just telling her, like, basically, like, kind of my life story, I could say. But she stopped me in my tracks, and she was like, it sounds like you always just stop. Like, even with hair, makeup, and, you know, like, simple life shit. She was like, why do you stop? You never, the reason why you feel so let down or like you so stagnant is because you never made it to the end of the tunnel to see the light. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, wow, something so little like that stuck with me. Like, it sticks with me. So that's why I always just continue to go, because I want to see what the light is at the end of the tunnel. I don't want to be in a tunnel anymore. So in order to make it out, you just have to keep going. And that's what I do. I just keep going no matter what, no matter if I want to give up. I might take a break, a mental break at that. And I just start back, you know, because life is definitely what you make it. You can't make it any more harder than what it feels like, because it's not harder.
It's really not. But that wraps up our first episode. If you guys want to continue following us, you need to make sure, following our journey, you need to make sure that you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button, like this video, and share it.
See ya.
Comment. Make a comment in the comment section and let us know what other topics you guys want us to cover in terms of moving to a new city, being in a new city, what ATL is like, and stay tuned for our next episode.
See ya.
See y'all.
Give a damn about a hater when I feel like it. Not today, not today, not today, not tomorrow. Get out my way, please, I'm tryna get paid.